All right, I have the firewall, just kind of rested it up there. The bottom portion clicos right into place with number 20 size clicos. The sides on the skin do not have any holes pre-drilled in them as far as for the firewall, but the firewall does have pre-drilled holes. So what I'm gonna have to do is, as you look in the middle here, you can see the other side. See, there's the pre-drilled holes in the side of the firewall flange. I'll end up back drilling through those into the side skin on the fuselage. Top mount here just kind of rests right there on that, and that seems to be a pretty good fit. These edges on the corners here, they slide underneath the skin here, and that'll get pushed in a little bit better than that. All right, with the help of the wife, I got the sides clecoed on, back drilled. All right, I have the firewall up drilled on the side here, except for where these horizontal lines or these holes are. There's 1, 2, and 3. And what I'm gonna do is put L angles on the inside of where those horizontal lines are. It's a curved surface there, and the L angles are straight. I'll cut these to length and do some crimping, so then this will actually curve, and my goal is to match it to duplicate the curve that's inside that side skin there. Here's a L angle for the first one, and I'm not sure if you can appreciate the slight curve in that, but it matches the first one pretty well. And here's crimping pliers I end up using. Look like somebody had just got some vice grips and welded on these little rods here, and one fits inside the other and just creates a nice little crimp. Well, I got the first 3 on this passenger side. They were actually kind of fun to do, surprisingly. The bottom one is a little bit more challenging to curve. It's not perfect, but I think it's acceptable. There's also a cover piece that goes on top of those, but I'm gonna do this the pilot side next, and then up drill all the holes, and then I'll worry about the cover after that. Okay, so what we have here, we have these L angles that we bent. Nice curvature, so they match the same curvature as the side of the fuselage there. And then what we have are these straight pieces. Holes in them, no nothing, and they're too long as well. So what they're going to be, they're going to be a cover for this guy here. So let's see how that goes. That goes along the fuselage, that'll be on the inside. This will be like a little cover. So we just trim this guy so the curvature of this matches the same curvature of this, and then drill holes in each one of these and make sure I avoid the little flanges here, or not the flanges, but the little crimps here. There's what that cover looks like. I just went ahead and clecoed it back together so you can kind of see what it looks like before I start riveting it, and you can see what the others look like without the covers. So. All right, these side stiffeners or braces are all in on both sides. All right, I'm pretty much finished riveting on these side stiffeners. Riveted those 3 layers. I did leave out this one right here, this last one, and then the one that connects to the firewall. This firewall is going to have to come back out so I can deburr it. So before I do that though, there's in these 4 corners, one right there, one down there, and one down. 4 corners of the firewall, there are some engine mount brackets. Also, on the side skin, there's these little brackets down there. Don't forget to install those guys. Here's the upper engine mount fitting and the lower engine mount fitting as they come. They come in these little bags here. And that's what they look like. One, and these 2 right there. First engine mount bracket right here, and a lot of tight fits. I did have to shave some off that inner section up in there, that corner there, because that flange is hitting it. And I did have to pre-drill these holes. I tried to make sure I was in the center of this longeron. This one came out perfect. The top one is favoring the left very slightly. It is kind of challenging. I went ahead and drilled this front bracket hole so I could kind of set it in place to see where that would come out. I got that to come out pretty much in the middle as well. And now it's just a matter of up drilling. Had my wife sit there and hold down on them and forward on them so I could get the pilot holes in them, and all that worked out great. No problems at all. How was the process?
Nothing.
All right, so the bottom engine mounts, the most forward hole, requires a countersunk screw, just so when you drill in from the front here for the engine mount, it won't get in the way. So you can actually end up using this guy right here. It worked out pretty well with the little countersunk bit plus a little extension. It's kind of hard to get in there, and it's kind of hard to countersink the most forward part of that hole there, just because it's on barely touching the radius there. But anyway, it requires this screw here, just the most forward one. There you go. And so that one's countersunk in there. And honestly, it's not the most forward part of it's not a perfect countersunk. The aft portion of this is not bad. You can barely feel the lip of it. The front, you can feel the lip a little bit more, but I think it's gonna be enough so you won't interfere with the nut as it comes through this side here. So, all right, the engine mount fittings are now as done as they're gonna be to be taken off for prime and paint. So on all four corners, I did put a 40 in there, and everything went well. The only thing I'm not 100% sure about, and I did post this on the Facebook forum, was these holes right here. I'm not sure what to do with them. It doesn't really say other than maybe a rivet. I wasn't sure if I just need to drill straight through that whole thing into the engine mount fitting and rivet that. I could take the engine mount fitting off, dimple this, and then rivet that direction. We'll see. I'll just leave it open for now, and that's on each side, just the upper fitting up here. Well, went ahead and took the firewall off, went ahead and put a layer of the KBS coatings paint. I just got one layer down there. It's a pretty thick paint, so it covers really well, but I think I'm gonna put one more layer since this is gonna be a high traffic area. At least had some leftover KBS coatings paint, so I went ahead and busted out the engine mount fittings, painted those, cleaned them up, painted them. While I'm waiting for the paint to dry on the front fuselage, I'm gonna go ahead and work on the installing the little toe brakes. These little guys here, and it comes with like a couple little hinges here. So basically what you do is the rudder pedals fit like this inside the fuselage, and on the back surface of that and that tube there, you put a hinge, kind of bend it over to shape, same shape as this curvature on this tube, and just rivet the hinge onto this. Then the other part of the hinge will get riveted onto the brake pedal mechanism itself. This is what I actually use, the Magic, Tap Magic, for cutting through the steel. All right, got all the brake pedal part all done, and everything bent, upsized to the right size, and deburred. So you can see kind of the holes in that. I'll probably paint these guys, and then put some like black strips of that grip tape. Well, the pedals for the brakes are installed, and that's kind of how it's going to go on the plane, just like that. It won't be long, maybe next week sometime. I'll go ahead and install the rudder pedals, get the black cage back on there, and the firewall back on there.